Hello, welcome to Kurtalini Yoga, lesson 2. So this lesson is going to be on stepping or moving your awareness around. This is what happens when you step. So like if you don't step, you find, oh, what's the range of my awareness? So this is going to be kind of kung fu based. So how do you step if somebody doesn't want you to step there? So first find out, like, what are you capable of doing inside of a step, right? So this is where you've stepped. So see what your awareness is capable of doing without stepping. And so that's what you're able to do here, is kind of like that's all that can happen inside of a single step, right? So stepping is actually pretty crazy. Because like all of this can happen inside of a normal step. And so if you look into any event like that, it blossoms and it flowers open like that in perpetuity. Like the breath or whatever else. You'll find that there's an infinite amount of things happening inside of each thing. So what you'll notice is that when you put your awareness, that's what you're doing, right? Go as far aware as you can get to your right. And at a certain point, to go any further, it starts to pull awareness from this side. And so that's what should drive a step, especially in like a martial sense. It's like the whole situation's going, and what pulls the step is the awareness. Like if you just try and get as far as you can that way, eventually that part of you has to go. So if you just are always cognizant, if you're going to move, like anytime that you're going to move, what's actually happening inside of that movement if we're to expand it. So even something like this, this game is happening. So you reach in, you reach in, you reach in, you reach in. Notice that if you reach to go any further, you'll find that, oh, okay, so suddenly this is continuous awareness. Suddenly this awareness here is all of me is reaching. And so the part that you're kind of really trying to study and find is that, where is it that after I reach, the reaching, you've actually reached so hard that it causes the totality of your awareness, all of you, not a part of you, but all of you, starts to go in the direction that you've projected your awareness. This is me projecting my awareness to the right, but not all of me is going. I have to project more and more and more. And eventually, no matter what, to go any further, all of me has to do it. And so yeah, that's a you could stay right there forever. There's a lot there. You can become very proficient at everything just with right there. So next is to study the step. So again, when you step, you're projecting your awareness forward all at once. So it's the whole, when you decide to move, the whole thing moves. All of you moves, everything that you're aware of, which is everything, moves. Why does it move? Because the field of awareness that the body is in moves. So it's like you're deciding to be exactly where you are, so your decision and reality overlap. So where you can test this is like, time yourself, how long can you do this before you've noticed that you're distracted, and you'll find that you usually don't even notice where you got distracted. You notice that you have a memory of what you were doing. So you basically get distracted from your distraction, and that's what brings you back to what you were doing to begin with. This is like a low-level version of trampling down death by death. And so then since you're just in awareness, and you are awareness, and you just, you can partially imagine the energetic currents going through your leg, the veins coming up, the arteries going out on the outside. So there's this energetic pattern that's kind of moving like that and spiraling. So that's an energy field creating electromagnetic field, moving through also another energy field of almost a similar density. Like the space is basically as energetically dense as the leg, almost equally, of the same substance. So when they move, it's a pattern of that substance moving through itself. So there's a lot of drag, there's a lot of no drag, effortlessness as the waves just move through. All of that's going on. And it's incomprehensible intellectually, but it is the same as if you had just a current of water moving through a pool of water that's not moving, or something like that. Water's drag on water. So as awareness moves through awareness, that's what you would call mindfulness, or something like that, right? And then we're trying to step, so that's conceptually related to the legs. And like, yeah, it is hard to work out when you have schizophrenia. It's like, it's really distracting. And it gives you this like crazy urge to distract other people. By being like, hey, check it out, this is how to not be distracted. It's a distraction from being distracted. I skipped leg day for like 40 years. It's like, if you want to get better, you can't be distracted by how bad you are. You just have to like, oh my gosh. And so stepping, I mean, primarily it's just about that movement of the awareness going. So as you move, if you stay embodied, there's always if this is pushing, something's being pulled. So if you go out, something also has to pull. So you can do that as kinetic chains or like the whole thing at once. There's obviously a gazillion ways to do this. So you have to either be like genuinely, authentically excited or very precise. And move or sail in any particular direction. I'm talking with the entirety of the circulatory system, like a sail, moving through awareness. That increases the heart rate, so the movement becomes meaningful. The other way to do it is to have like a story and like that you actually believe in, and then the inner circulation turns on and connects to or grabs reality. So you can kind of like connect to or grab reality even when your heart's not into it, just mentally with the technique, or get your heart actually into it and grab reality from your circulatory system. So then if you're doing that, then whatever bullshit you happen to be doing is using the heart, which is using the circulatory system correctly. So if you're going to do Kung Fu stepping or whatever, mindful stepping or Kurtalini yoga, it's like the heart has to be involved. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, it means like, oh gee whiz, hey, here's the cool story. Or like, believe it, be on your path. I'm not saying the stories aren't real. They are. So it's like you need to be on the path of your story, because it's like your circulatory system is sailing awareness through awareness. That's literally how it's moving. And then the immediate air pressure, the water, is like what you can feel right here. And then the overall climate and the winds and the cycles of the season is the direction of your life. So like your choices and how you engage in with different events and phenomenon and things like that. Also stepping. So stepping is movement, right? So it's like this movement is primarily done with the heart. And so the heart, if you're doing the movement correctly, is the circulatory system. So fingers to toes, the whole, to feel that it's actually, as it moves, it's equivalent to sailing or swimming at every point of your circulatory system. And so if you're doing something that gets you like excited, motivated or whatever, and your heart goes up, your circulatory system, since it's of the same substance as reality, the sailing can go both ways. So like when you're truly trying, you're truly engaged, you're passionate, your heart's going, that's an indication that you're jiving with your destiny, the overall currents of life are kind of like pushing. And then also, even when things are still or not working or like whatever, or uncomfortable, you can feel to where your heart's like, it's still there. And so this is really the most healthy perspective, is when you're in the blood or the fluid, and there's really no injuries. There's just like, well, what can your awareness do? Like, what can your heart do? And that's what you would want to do anyway, and that's usually the most vitalizing. So you can have in the back of your mind that maybe you'd like to do something, but you're primarily concerned with staying in the fluid and kind of pressurizing that. And what you can or can't do starts to matter a lot less. Or like things that you could come up with, because it's like that's your structure thinking, that's your habit, that's the conditioning, that drive. So like once you're ready to get to higher levels of Kurtalini stepping, you know, it's